The greatest threat to Christianity today, hard to prioritize. There's so many threats. But one that's kind of a subtle, sneaky one, materialism. We as Christians have become very materialistic. The church has become very materialistic. I'm not even going to go to the point where I say we worship materialism. It's a new idol. I mean, we could say that. It's more subtle than that. It's not even consumerism necessarily. It's seeing a world that doesn't have spiritual implications, whether it be the desecration of the Lord's Day by all the sporting activities that families get caught up in, whether it be the fact that we get caught up in sporting activities throughout the rest of the week, to the point where we're not thinking about spiritual things for our children, grandchildren, and those we love. We're overtaken by a world that just is carnal. It doesn't compute with anything of faith, and we just get caught up in that in ways that are threatening the church. And again, the way that the world functions is now the way that the church functions. Secularism. We don't even know that we're getting caught up in that. With the movies we watch, the books we read, the media that we listen to, they're not coming from a godly standpoint. They're coming from a secular standpoint. And it's insidious. It's subtle. It's behind the scenes. It creeps up on us. It's the blob that's everywhere all around us. And we're just falling victim to this secularization. But I'm on a kind of a crusade these days, because I think the biggest single most factor that is a challenge to the church is this notion of evolution, that we are here because of some chance process in the universe. The universe itself is a product of some chance process. And if we buy into that, that's the issue at the top of the waterfall for all other issues. If we are really here by evolutionary chance, and don't even mention to me that God made it happen this way, because that is not evolution. Evolution is a chance, undirected, unpurposeful process. But if that's the case, there is no God. If there is no God, there is no revelation of His will to man in Scripture. We have nothing to guide us. There is no morality. There is no judgment to be held accountable for after we die. There is no hope for life after this world. Everything is on the line with the one question: where did we come from? Where did we come from? Followed closely by why are we here? And then where are we going? All three of those questions hinge on the single question: why are we here? How did we get here? And if we truly believe in Darwinian-style evolution that is being taught from secularism all the way into Christian college campuses, then we have no hope, period. We have no hope. That's the biggest threat and challenge we have to the church, and we've got to combat it, not from Scripture. We can't come at it from Scripture, because people don't believe in Scripture anymore because they're already believing in Darwinian evolution. We've got to attack evolution on its own terms. It is flawed science, period. Whatever Genesis says, it doesn't matter what Genesis says. You can argue about the 6 days or not 6 days. It doesn't matter. Science, the science of evolution itself, is flawed. I will put in one plug. I've got a book on that with regard to the issue that they call, evolutionists themselves call, the Queen of Evolutionary Problems. And that is, evolution cannot account for the origin of sex. And without that, biology can't go anywhere. And without that, there's no way that we would be here with my voice coming to your ears at this point. That's the most crucial issue of all. We need to pay every bit of attention we can to that, do everything we can to combat that. Without getting that problem solved, none of the other problems that we've talked about, none of them, not a one of them, makes any sense.